Hey everybody, it's Bruno on MB, and we're It Can't All Be Serious. I'm back here with my good friend, back by popular demand.
There
I'm
it is.
telling you.
Boom.
Well, you know what's funny is that I do know a lot of...
Are you going to say my name?
What's that? Trevor.
Did you say it?
Trevor Johnson from Bullseye Recruitment. I was going to say that, the intrigue, the suspense. But you know what? You're back by popular demand because, believe it or not, I do know people in your industry that you recruit for.
Yes.
Trevor's president and CEO of Bullseye Recruitment. And the last segment, you gave a couple of tips and tricks. And you know, some people watch us and they kind of go, hey, I didn't, you know, this is kind of scary. But they said, geez, Trevor, yeah, I remember him placing me like in 1926.
Yeah. Hey. Gray hairs are earned.
Sorry, 2006. But anyways, the thing is, you get some really good advice. And one of the things is, people think, you know, top benefits we have here, top benefits of using, you know, search companies and that's kind of not true. I think the benefits of using a specialized firm like yours,
right,
does come down to you, really, because you built this whole company from scratch kind of thing. But number one thing about benefit of using a specialized firm like yours.
Yeah. So thank you for asking that, Bruno. So I find that one of the primary benefits of working with Bullseye Recruitment is that I work collaboratively with the hiring manager to understand the organization, understand what challenges they've had in the past, understand, you know, what the leadership is challenged with. And really it's about identifying the right person for the job, right? Bruno, one of the greatest things about working with a specialized recruiter like Bullseye Recruitment and myself being the company,
right,
is that really it's a targeted approach to each and every search that I conduct. Mm-hmm. So I meet with the hiring manager, I understand what their technical requirements are, because that's really the checkbox components of it. It's more about the art, and the art is understanding the culture and the environment that the person is going to be bringing their new hire into. And so working with myself, obviously, as Bullseye Recruitment, but working with the hiring manager, we collaborate on technical skill sets, we collaborate on the character values that are necessary for the position, for the team, the leadership, the operational partners that they're going to be working with. And when we can identify that and bring clarity for both the hiring manager and for myself in that recruiting process, I can go to the market with an objective-based recruitment effort, and I can really narrow down on the right skill set, the right people with that competency.
Mm-hmm. You know, I can tell you that, you know, knowing a little bit about the industry and just the professional aspect of, you know, the C-level suite. In the last 26 years, you must have said no to a lot of people because they just didn't fit the criteria in your razor edge. I use that word, not you. It's razor edge, pinpoint, bullseye thing. Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, and being serious here is, you're not for everybody. I don't mean you personally. I mean, your services aren't for everybody.
Correct.
You really want a certain type of individual or skill set, really. So walk us through the types of candidates, you want to call them, for you.
Right. So ideally, individuals that are in a job search or not, I mean, I'm looking for individuals that have a clarity in what their career want is. So in saying that, I will say that through my career coaching and leadership coaching, I do help people identify those wants. But typically, most accounting professionals will have typically gone through the CPA program, Chartered Professional Accountants program. You know, they'll have obviously have a track record of success and experience in not only performing the technical competencies, but also have moved up throughout the ranks within leadership. So I work with CFOs, directors of finance, VP of finance, controllers, accounting managers, divisional controllers, basically all people at a fairly senior level of accounting and finance.
You know, I want to have fun here. So
sure, we're talking accountants. They're
we're
fun.
Talking accountants.
They are fun people.
Are they really fun people? I gotta tell you, you know, I was having a conversation.
26 years, Bruno,
20
of accountants.
Yeah,
I married one.
You did. You did. One of my favorite people, actually. And but I always joke around with accountants when they tell me it's complicated. I said, "What did they add another column?" You know, because they always have the debits and credits, and all my accounting friends are gonna
Call you.
Yeah, they're gonna give me a hard time. But tell us, like, there are so many stories that have gone on there, and everybody just thinks that, you know, you get a job order and you just fill it, and it's just very clinical. Tell us a couple of times that the hiring manager, okay, say the CFO, CEO, they ended up hiring who they wanted to hire, not who they should have hired.
Oh,
and it, you know, tell us about, like, there's got to be something that stands out.
So I wouldn't recommend hiring who you like. Firstly, I think that's where a lot of hiring managers run into difficulty. Is they love the person through the interview process. They get into the workplace. A month later, the hiring manager is shaking their head, wondering, why did I hire this person? And it always comes down to the fact that they had a really good bond and relationship in the interview process, but they did not get into clarity. They didn't get into the technical competency. They maybe didn't review actually the work history into detail. They didn't maybe understand some of the technical competencies that that person maybe hadn't been exposed to. So that is a difficult situation. That's difficult for the hiring manager, and it's difficult for the employee, because now they're at a spot where they have to decide, do they continue or not? And through an effective recruitment process, I guide the hiring manager into coming back to what is the job description. I understand you like that person, but what is the job description? What is the objective-based recruitment process that we're looking to go to? And it's about technical competency, personality and values and characteristics of that individual in terms of how does it tie to the corporate culture.
So Arden, write this down: objective-based recruiting. That is, I love that
fantastic,
term.
yeah.
But it really breaks it down. It's objective, and I got to tell you,
it removes the subjective behavior, right? So it's
takes the like out.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want the like.
Well, yeah, we don't want to hire somebody who, like, I got to share a story that, and it ties into Bullseye Recruitment and Services. You said career coaching, but also you actually help C-level people, maybe help the people under them to hire the right people too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I can tell you a quick story that I'm sure you have tons of these stories, but I'll never forget a C-level person who had their people under them, or, you know, like the people reported to them. I don't know what the proper term is these days. And the interview lasted like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, wow, like, he goes, yeah, I quickly asked, I said, how do you like this? Like, how do you know that this person can do all these 15 things? Like, this is still a managerial role. He goes, I knew right away, because we share the love of horse jumping. And so the C-level person goes, you realize you're not working out of a stable here. And it's kind of like, I get it, I got it, but what clarifies that? And I always remember these stories that, you know, my friends tell me about, you know, I knew right away, and then, oh boy.
Yeah.
And but walk us through some of the things that you also help the C-level suite in terms of helping them hire better people.
Right.
In terms of, like, maybe that example of teaching their under people how to hire.
Right. So I'm a certified behavioral consultant, Bruno.
Right.
And so what
behavior? Ideal life project, boys.
So what benefit I bring to the hiring manager is that I utilize an assessment tool called DISC. Dominant, Influencer, Steady, and Compliant. And so this tool allows us to understand the hiring manager's communication style, their behaviors. It helps us understand what their needs are with greater clarity. And so when we go through the hierarchy or through this organizational chart, and we look at each of the hiring managers within that team, we can really also have those people conduct a DISC assessment and help understand what their communication styles are, their behaviors, how they like to direct and manage people, Are they a very compliant personality where, as accountants, as an example, they're very process driven often? But there's also the need to be able to have the people and the soft skills to lead those individuals in their daily tasks and to motivate the team. And so part of being a certified behavioral consultant is I can bring that to a team dynamic. I can help the hiring manager understand that within their organizational chart. And then as we make the hiring decisions, we can also evaluate those people that we're considering in the short list as to how they will fit with communication, behaviors, and track record of success.
You know, you mentioned the behavioral coaching side, and I guess that's another way you can really help the companies save money and hire the right people and long term be successful.
Correct.
The assessment alone doesn't matter, because people can take an assessment and they say,
Absolutely.
hey, I got it. You're actually assisting them in what other areas when they take the assessment? Because it's just like going for a blood test. If you can't interpret it and implement it,
right?
What does it mean?
Thank you for clarifying that, Bruno, because you know, we're presenting a 31 page document to an individual after they've completed the assessment. And so being able to interpret that information, there's some fundamental reading that's done, but it's also about helping those individuals understand why they've maybe made some prior choices, why they maybe communicate not only in the workplace that they do, but even in their personal relationships. Why do they communicate in a certain way? And so if I'm answering your question correctly, what I can do is I can bring that clarity for those people as well. And I can help them understand, you know, why they've chosen to act in the way that they do, or, you know, respond, maybe not act, but respond in the way that they do. And what feedback I've received in that is once people have gone through this coaching process and they understand their deliverables and they understand how they communicate on a specific topic, it really does allow them to reflect and become more effective in communication, and therefore creating a better and more collaborative team.
No, that's awesome. I'm really glad we had this time. We're going to be coming back and talking about, you know, a little bit of career stuff. I know that everybody wants to know about career, their next move,
right?
And especially on the C level. Yeah. Not to discount anybody under the C level, but that's kind of like your area of expertise. The senior level people, right? Dealing with placements of other places, and your coaching, man, you've come a real, when I say long way, I don't mean that in a bad way, but there are very few people that can kind of come to your level of interviewing, understanding that whole corporate culture assessment and everything. And I'm blown away on all the stuff that you've done in the last 26 years. So we're going to be back. If you want to get in touch with Trevor, website,
www.bullseyerecruitment.com.
And we're underneath here, and there's a ton of resources there you can use. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Trev.
Thanks, Bruno.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you want someone you know to be our next guest, simple. Click below in the description, and we'll get in touch with them. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and you'll never, ever miss another episode.